It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another video. In this episode of Hood Tales, let's take it to Gary, Indiana, to discuss the case of a toxic relationship that didn't survive the red flags and controversial beginning. But before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads. Stay tuned until the end to hear the whole story. Everything in this video is alleged. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Chicago native Arrianna Miles was just 26 years old, full of ambition, warmth, and a natural ability to make people feel loved. She was a mother, a student pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse, hoping one day to work in the NICU caring for newborns. She was also the kind of friend who would give without hesitation. In fact, she had recently learned she was a match to donate a kidney to a close friend battling lupus, and she was ready to go through with it. Her family adored her, her friends adored her, and most importantly, she adored the little boy she brought into the world just 11 months before her life took a devastating turn. But before all this, before the headlines, before the viral conversations, before the heartbreak, there was a message. A simple exchange online that connected her to her alleged high school crush, a man named Charles Franklin. It started playfully. Ariana, known as Kay Milani on Facebook, sent a message asking, "You got a girl?" Charles replied, "Yeah." And then she said back, "Want a better one?" He responded with a googly eye emoji and said, "I wouldn't mind." A playful, almost mischievous acknowledgement that he didn't mind the attention. From that moment, the two began talking, and soon enough, they were together. Their connection sparked fast and strong, the type of whirlwind that can feel powerful, flattering, and intoxicating. Young, confident, and full of that early relationship thrill, Ariana embraced it. Before long, they were living together. They shared a home in Gary, Indiana, and welcomed a son, a little boy who instantly became the light of her life. But behind the photos, the jokes, the online banter, and the glimpses of happiness, something darker had been growing. A pattern of hostility and escalating conflict that those closest to the couple did not fully understand until it was too late. Throughout 2025, documented incidents revealed turmoil behind the scenes. In April, there were allegations that Charles put his hands on Ariana in multiple ways, choking her, striking her, and using a belt during an altercation. Both of them filed protective orders afterward, a clear sign that the relationship had reached a dangerous point. In May, during another dispute in which Ariana asked him to leave, Charles allegedly told her that he loved her, but also said something chilling enough to end up in court records. And in June, while in Cook County, police responded to another incident. Ariana accused him of slamming her to the ground and choking her until she lost consciousness. These were warning signs, major ones. But like so many young couples entangled in a toxic cycle, the kind where love, fear, hope, and habit blur into one, they kept going back. They kept attempting to make it work. By November 2025, the tension between them was a volcano waiting to erupt. On November 17, 2025, Ariana and Charles were at home on Pennsylvania Street. Their baby boy, not even a year old, was there too. According to Charles, the argument began over something small, an everyday annoyance, He said he took too long buying cigars. Ariana brought up past infidelity. She told him to leave. Voices rose, tensions spiked, then everything spiraled. At some point during the confrontation, Charles claimed that Ariana went into a closet holding their son and retrieved a sawed-off shotgun. He told investigators that she held the weapon in a way that didn't entirely make sense, angled downward, facing herself, despite its size and weight. He said he tried to knock it away, and that's when it discharged. But investigators, experts who have seen countless scenes like this, immediately noticed the inconsistencies. The trajectory was downward and close range. The weapon's placement didn't match his story, and scattered throughout the home were 5 loose 12-gauge shells that matched the one found at the scene. Then came the most damning piece of evidence, the 911 call. Charles called for help. When asked if what happened was intentional, he hesitated before saying no. But in the background, Ariana could be heard, her voice faint, strained, fading in and out as her body fought to hold on. She asked him over and over, "Why would you do that?" She said, "I'm dying," and asked to be taken outside, as if instinctively searching for air, for relief, for anything that could keep her awake. When officers arrived and tried to help her, Ariana pointed at Charles and pleaded, "Please get him away from me." Her words became critical evidence, her final attempt to protect herself as her life slipped away. She was taken to the hospital, but she didn't make it. Within 48 hours, detectives and homicide task force secured charges. Charles Franklin was held without bail and ultimately charged with slaying Ariana, unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, domestic battery by means of a deadly weapon, domestic battery committed in the presence of a child, intimidation, and several felony firearm-related enhancements. He faces up to 85 years if convicted. Beyond the legal consequences, the emotional devastation was immeasurable. Ariana's family was shattered. Her friends, including the one she planned to donate a kidney to, were heartbroken. Her son, just 11 months old, would grow up without his mother. A baby left without the woman who had poured everything into nurturing him for nearly a year. When Ariana's story hit social media, it spread fast, but the conversation didn't center on her dreams, her motherhood, her kindness, or the life she deserved to have. Instead, many fixated on the way she started her relationship with Charles, specifically how she flirted with him while he was involved with someone else. Suddenly, the internet painted her as reckless, as if her early choices justified or explained the tragedy that unfolded years later, as if youthful ego or impulsiveness somehow canceled out her right to safety, protection, and life itself. But unfortunately, that's not how humanity works. Ariana was more than a message thread, more than a mistake, more than the online gossip that followed. She was a young woman who loved hard, lived with passion, and tried to build stability. Despite red flags, she didn't yet have the life experience to fully process. Her story is about far more than the way the relationship began. As the case moved through the court system, prosecutors highlighted the pattern, the documented incidents, the inconsistencies in Charles's account, the physical evidence, and Ariana's own recorded words in her final moments. The question became clear. How many warnings were needed before this relationship turned fatal? Why were protective orders ignored? Why do so many people believe that it won't happen to me, even when the signs are undeniable? Charles's behavior before, during, and after the incident painted a portrait of instability, volatility, and a refusal to walk away before things escalated to the point of no return. His actions didn't just end Ariana's future, they rewrote the future of their child, their families, and everyone connected to them. Charles Franklin is innocent until proven guilty. May Arrianna Miles rest in peace. My deepest condolences to her family and loved ones. Ariana's story is painful because it is familiar, far too familiar. It's a reminder that a turbulent relationship doesn't magically stabilize on its own. A history of hostility is not just how someone is, and ignoring red flags doesn't make the danger disappear. It only delays the fallout. For anyone watching this who feels trapped, controlled, degraded, or caught in a cycle of chaos with someone you love, this is your sign to take it seriously. Love should never require sacrificing your safety, your peace, or your future. Ariana deserved protection long before November 17th. She deserved support when she filed for it. She deserved healing, growth, and a chance to walk away and rebuild. Her son deserved to grow up with his mother. Her family deserved to celebrate her nursing graduation, her milestones, her victories, not mourn her. And the world deserved to know her not as a headline, but as the bright, compassionate young woman she truly was. Ariana should still be here. This was a tragedy that should have never happened. Ignoring red flags does not erase their consequences. It multiplies them. Fam, what are your thoughts on this tragic situation? Let's talk about it in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, consider liking and sharing. Subscribe for more stories like this and for the stories behind the headlines, because behind them all are lives forever changed. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times. Until next time.